Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Metamorphosis from Trauma to Thriver podcast, where we talk about all things centered around anxiety, mental health, dissociation, and PTSD. Today, I am joined by Erica Clark. She's a weight loss coach, a wife, and a mom to two amazing boys. She started her healing transformation journey in November of 2021. Today, she's going to share her testimony with us. Thank you, Erica. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me today. So I'll go ahead and start.
Yep.
Hi everyone, my name is Erica. I'm a mom, wife, personal trainer, trauma-informed coach, bikini competitor, model, and weight loss coach. Today I want to talk about my 14 size weight loss and healing transformation. So I'm going to share my testimony of my physical, mental, and spiritual transformation. So it all started 3 years ago. I was an overweight mom that hated her body, and I had a terrible mindset. I wasn't always overweight. Working a corporate job and being the caretaker for my husband's grandma with dementia took its toll. I easily packed on 35 pounds in 4 years. I didn't take care of all my needs. I slowly lost myself without realizing it, and I had no idea what self-love looked like. I also had a lot of unresolved trauma. I knew I had a lot of wounds, but I chose to ignore my trauma. Ignoring it meant it didn't exist, or so I had conditioned my mind to believe. But eventually, that stored trauma is going to start affecting your life. Eventually, you're going to reach a breaking point. You can only ignore things for so long. That breaking point for me was 33. I'm going to take you back to when I was 16. I was a bubbly, active, shy honor student. I always saw the positive in life, and I had a great upbringing. I envisioned myself moving to Vancouver and becoming a marine biologist. I loved deeply, and I always had great ambitions. But life had a way of happening to me. In my pursuit of life, I trusted too easily. This led to a traumatic rape after barely turning 17. All the light I had disappeared. All the good I saw in people turned into darkness. All my joy turned to nightmares. My personality eventually disappeared, bit by bit. Suddenly, I had anxiety about everything and everyone. Fast forward 13 months later, and I experienced a traumatic moose accident with an old boyfriend. I just remember waking up thinking I was going to die. I can't describe what that feels like, but it is terrifying. It's the weirdest feeling waking up after a terrible accident. Suddenly, you feel the need to tell people you love them, and your life suddenly flashes before your eyes. You realize how short life is and all the time you've wasted. I remember waking up in the hospital, not knowing exactly everything that happened. My mom told me that the windshield came down on me and I was screaming in pain. I was 6 months pregnant. The doctors advised me that they needed to check on the baby. I can't explain what it feels like to suddenly have doctors tell you that they can't find a heartbeat. I soon went into prayer and begged God to save my baby. Within minutes, they advised me that they found the heartbeat, and I couldn't be more relieved. The next couple weeks were a bit of a blur. I had test after test and excruciating back pain. Blood flowed out of my mouth temporarily, and I soon found out how many broken bones I had. Fractured eye sockets, a torn retina, fractured cheekbones, and a broken jaw. Doctors and plastic surgeons told me to get an abortion or that I'd be ugly. Yes, female surgeons actually told me this. I laughed in disgust and told them I'd do no such thing. I told them I had faith that God would heal me. They really thought I was crazy, but I didn't care. I went on to have a beautiful baby boy that I named David. My whole body miraculously healed in 2 months. David was the light of my life. Often traumatic memories would haunt me, and my son would bring me joy on those dark days. I'd snuggle him close, and God showed me so much love through him. I knew I was created for a purpose, but I didn't know what. 3 years passed by, and many struggles as a single mom, but I went on to marry a handsome man. He reignited my joy, and being a wife gave me purpose again. We went on to have a handsome boy named Anthony. Many years passed, which brings me to the timeline of caring for my husband's grandmother. She was a beautiful soul, but she went on to pass away in 2020. Something inside of me changed after that. I realized that I needed to love myself and pour the same love that I poured into others into myself. I hated the way I looked, and I hated the way that I felt. I asked God to show me how to be the person I wanted to be. I was heavily overweight and 180 pounds. I started walking daily and cleaning up my nutrition. I started listening to podcasts daily. I lost 6 sizes in 5 months. I experimented with designing different exercise plans and evaluating the results. I rewired my brain by working on my mindset. In addition, I went on to hire a bodybuilding mentor with 20 years experience. I started strength training 5 days a week at the gym for 2 years and went on to lose 14 sizes. I invested heavily into self-love, my physical health, and my mental health with trauma counseling through my weight loss journey. But it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies. 1 year into my fitness journey, I experienced a traumatic sexual assault at my first modeling shoot and went on to watch my father traumatically pass away after being in a coma for several weeks. Trauma changed me. Death changed me. Suddenly past deep emotions overtook me. Everything I worked for seemed pointless. I quickly began the EDMR therapy process again. It wasn't an easy process. I didn't feel like going to the gym. I didn't feel like talking about deep, dark things. I didn't feel motivated. I didn't feel joyful. I didn't feel like dealing with my toxic mindsets. I didn't feel like putting in the work. I was heavily depressed for 2 years, but I didn't give up. I trusted the process. I can't tell you how thankful I am for pursuing the journey God put me on. I accomplished far more than I ever thought possible. I got the body of my dreams. I retrained my mindset. I improved my mental health. I received fourth place in a muscle and fitness magazine competition. I landed a fitness magazine cover. I became a bikini model, and I overcame my complex PTSD. Now I'm actively pursuing my modeling dreams and sharing my story to inspire other bodybuilders and complex trauma survivors. I believe in you. You are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. It is very, very powerful, Erica. It's like from pain to purpose, to testimony of resilience, how in the face of challenges, not to go out there and not to give in, to press forward, to take it one day at a time. Wow. And
Thanks so
I
much.
like how you went out there and you used your faith to empower you. But you're like, no, I'm not going to give in. I'm going to take the baby steps, and baby steps, no matter how small they are, lead to the bigger picture, lead to better things. And I completely understand like the depression and how it ruins you. And good for you for saying enough is enough. I'm going to do something different. And
Mhm.
if you're willing to share with the audience, what brought you to the breaking point where you're like, I gotta change. I know something is better.
Um, so basically, like by the time I had turned 33, like I did hate my body, but even not just the way that I looked, it was my mindset. So, I lived in a state of anxiety and depression for all those years from the time I was 17. And that obviously was very difficult to constantly have anxiety, to constantly be scared in parking lots, to feel really uncomfortable in front of men. I was like, I have to make a change because not everyone is a bad person. Not everyone has bad intentions. So truthfully, when I decided to pursue the fitness journey, I decided at the same time to improve my mental health. And so as I achieved my fitness goals and saw progress, then it's funny in the gym, you have this mental mindset shift. And then you realize if I can achieve fitness goals, I can achieve um, mental health goals. Like I can change, just like I can change my body. I can change my mindset and I can work on my trauma. And I don't have to continue to be in this place of darkness. And I can come into, this place of light and joy and peace again. Um, so yeah, I'd say definitely the gym really changed me as a person. And then as I saw the progression of improving physically and mentally, it just really inspired me to keep going. And so basically, I've been on this journey for 3.5 years now. I can say it wasn't easy. I faced a lot of obstacles. I worked through a lot of really tough things. But through allowing myself to feel my emotions, work with a professional to regulate my nervous system again, and basically put in the time and the effort, I yielded those results of success and healing and transformation.
Right, because this is something you want to go through on your own. You need the support of other people. And
Yeah,
going at it on your own, you're likely to self-sabotage.
yeah, definitely.
And I feel really bad about like how that lady is like, no, get an abortion. I'm glad for you for standing up. And what was the point where you said, no, I'm not gonna go through this? What were the feelings you were thinking of as she said that? And how did you like take back your stance? I don't know if that question makes sense or not.
Oh no, it's all good. I actually felt angry. In that exact moment, I had this anger, but through the anger, oddly enough, I had like this spirit of perseverance. Um, you know, that everything would work out, that I would have faith, and regardless of what they said, that my skin wasn't going to be ugly, I wasn't ugly, and I was going to have a healthy baby boy. And since we happen to be on the topic, like our son, he turns 18 on March 23rd. So it's just so exciting. And he's, doing so well, and he's going to graduate in June. And it's just, yeah, it's such a testimony.
That is awesome. Wow. So happy birthday, Mo, to your son. And here you
Yeah,
are doing a podcast just like a few weeks before his birthday. Right?
yeah,
It
that's
was like
cool.
God ordained. It was like a two-in-one testament.
Amen. Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, it's been a great journey. It's been, lots of challenges, but yeah, yeah, it's been great.
If you could pick one of the challenges, what was the hardest one and what was the learning lesson through it?
The hardest challenge. Definitely being a two-time survivor, experiencing that at 17 and then into my adult life. um, you know, two very different timelines, a lot of different challenges with both. But yeah, to heal that mental mindset, from the trauma and develop a healthy view of my body was really difficult. Um, it took a lot of time, but I'm super proud of myself for doing it. Um, and when you ask about the lesson, it's so hard to sum up, but I would basically just say, that God has given me like a um, renewed mind, so that I am worthy, I'm loved, my body is beautiful. And, my past trauma doesn't define me. Um, and it doesn't have to define who I am or who I'm becoming, that is in the past, but that I can use my pain into my testimony and I can inspire others, um, that have went through similar challenges that are in that moment that don't feel that there's a way out of it. And God has done it in such a unique way. So it's so cool. Of course, spring is close by. Um, so the timing is so cool. So I entered in for a Miami Swim Week charity event. So I recently got signed with a modeling agency this month. And then I'm also flying to Miami to do, I'm very scared, but a Miami Swim Week charity event. And again, for me to be in front of a crowd of people and show off my body and celebrate myself, it's such a huge thing for me. But, I think it's an inspiration, hopefully, to other survivors or, other people that have maybe been through other trauma that feel that they're just stuck in that place and that, there's no way out. So I just hope, my goal is, to inspire other people through that and through my own journey, that we don't have to be stuck in that place of trauma and that we can overcome that.
Yep, we don't have to be stuck in our trauma. It does not define us. And
Yeah,
congratulations. I am so
thank you.
super happy for you for that opportunity.
I'm so
No,
excited.
yeah, I know going into it, you're scared, but I'm sure once you get there, it'll be fine. It'll be a completely different atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So,
awesome. Wow. It's amazing
and
how God opens like doors. Sorry to talk over you. It's amazing
right?
how God opens up the doors.
Oh no. Yes, amen. So when you talked about lessons, obviously this is, relates to different things, but the lesson I've really learned is that through doing things that scare us or say, we don't feel that we're good at, um, I've learned that growth comes by doing uncomfortable things. And I've learned that you don't have to be perfect at something. All you have to do is start. And basically when you start, like God will bring it to fruit, like he will see it through. He will guide you through it. Again, you don't have to be perfect and just to trust the process. So it can be scary, but obviously it's very rewarding. And yeah.
But what is perfection? We have our own definition of perfection, and one challenge builds off of another challenge. I'm a believer that you have to go through the challenges, you have to go through the tough times. You can't go around them. To go through them is
Yes.
hard, but you come
Yes.
out successful and victorious on the end.
Totally. Yeah. And, I really struggled with perfection, I think, my whole life. Um, so I really learned to break free from that mindset. Again, just to put in the work, put in the time, work on achieving my goals and understanding I don't have to be perfect. All I have to do is just show up, continue working on things, and that I will improve over time. And I've even seen a lot of models talk about that. How they'll show like videos or photographs of their first shoots and how they were and how bad they were, and just to where they are now. So again, no one is perfect, and we got to learn through our failures. And if we can learn through our failures, then we can have that growth mindset and transformation.
Yes, because people want to see us at our most vulnerable point. They want to see our realness, our authenticity. They don't want to
Yeah,
see just like someone always out there. They want to see our flaws because, as you were saying, nothing is perfect. And if we just put out all the stuff that's like really good, it's like, no. What about the behind the scenes? What about how they got to where they are?
totally, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's really important to show people that vulnerable side and authentic side. Um, especially, for me as a weight loss coach, yeah, it's important for me for people to know that, again, everyone starts somewhere and it's not a perfect process and we don't need to seek perfection.
No, that was very, very, really good how you worded that. That's so true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, If you could go out there and give anyone one piece of wisdom, what would it be?
That's a tough one. I'm big about work on yourself every day, physically, mentally, spiritually, if you desire. Um, write your goals down, envision your dreams, go after them, and give it everything you got. Life is short.
Yep, life is about challenges. Life is about having experiences. And if you don't have experiences, you're not growing. You're remaining stagnant.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Is there any final words that you want to say or anything that you want to share with the audience?
I think just, for people that are in that place of like pain or brokenness or anxiety or depression or, have a lot of trauma, I would just like to say, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Doesn't always feel like it when we're in that place. It's not easy. A lot of people don't understand trauma or depression or anxiety. Um, but just, continue to work on yourself mentally and physically. Um, don't be afraid to ask for help, whether that's reaching out to me or someone else. Um, it's not a bad thing to ask for help. A lot of us have been through difficult things, and, asking for help is a sign of strength. So, yeah. And just, again, know that there is hope and we don't have to feel like this forever. And again, your trauma doesn't define who you are. And, God loves you and he sees you as worthy and beautiful and enough. And yeah,
Thank you so much, Erica. Thank you for sharing your story. It's a very, very powerful testimony to the audience. I really hope that you benefited from Erica's talk and that you listened to this video. Erica, thank you for being here. I
well,
really
thank
appreciate your
you. For having
time.
me. I
You're
appreciate your
welcome.
time.
And
Yeah, thank you
that's
for this amazing opportunity.
You're welcome. And that's a wrap, audience. If you have a topic you'd like to discuss or if you'd like to be a part of the podcast, please drop me a note in the comments. Until next time, bye everyone.